please, what is your headline fun fact? Could be an adventurous moment, surprising moment, shocking moment, a proud moment, anything that will make us say, Christian, no way. Your fun fact, please.
My fun fact was probably 25 years ago, I fell off a 150-foot cliff and walked out of the canyon to tell the story. So I'm still here today.
Amazing.
Whoa, dude, that is we've had more than 8,000 people on the Heart of Influence now, Christian. We recently did a recalculation of all the numbers. That is definitely a top 10 all-time fun fact. Dude, 150-foot fall and you walked away from it. That is a blessing, a miracle, incredible. Welcome to the Heart of Influence, Christian.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, and thank you. Bella, miracles are in the building. Let's go.
Miracles are most certainly in the building. And next up from San Francisco Bay, California, blends deep tissue massage, energy healing, and acupuncture as an experience as a professional dancer and martial artist. Empowers athletic entrepreneurship and holistic healers through online courses and coaching, focusing on self-healing and peak performance. Let's welcome to the show, Andrew Ng.
Hi, everyone.
Andrew, hello. Thank you so much for being here today, Andrew. And please, your fun fact.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My fun fact, I would say, is that when I was 18 years old, I healed every joint in my body from chronic pain and injury. And then I used that new body to become a professional dancer and martial arts acrobat. So I'm here to tell you that it's totally possible to heal yourself and do great things with it.
I am not confused that this is a day of miracles and healing with Dr. Matt on his Heart of Influence. Welcome this heart-centered and growth-minded group. And Andrew, brother, welcome to the Heart of Influence.
Thank you.
Bella Verita.
Next up from Mesa, Arizona, real estate broker and owner in the space since 2014, consistently among the state's top producers, receiving multiple Young Pro Network awards, top 40 under 40, transformed the brokerage into a formidable residential and property management company, seeing tremendous growth since 2019, a startup partner as well, providing maintenance work and water loss restoration services. Let's welcome to the show, Brian Adams.
It's a pleasure to be here with you guys today.
And Brian, Sean, this is not the same like Summer of 69, Brian, in case you might be confused. This is definitely a different Brian Adams.
Yes, this is a much cooler Brian Adams.
Absolutely.
That we have here right now. I am not heart-centered, warm welcome. It is not the Summer of 69. To summer 24, and we have the Brian Adams. And please, Brian, what is your fun fact?
So I always tell everybody I am the one and only Brian Adams. But as I get older, I get fewer and fewer people that connect the dots between who Brian Adams is. So that's all right by me. A fun fact, I'm going a different direction from the prior two. They have some amazing fun facts. Mine is I taught myself how to say the alphabet backwards when I was in elementary school out of pure boredom. That's my fun fact for the day.
Fact. Can we hear? Could you lay it on us, Brian, really quickly?
Yeah, sure. You bet. ZYXW VUT SRQ PO NML KJ IHG FED CBA.
Yes.
All right.
Bella Rita, this is a key access vector as an antidote for dyslexia. And I'm only half kidding. Bella has dyslexia and has created incredible mastery, through that journey in her life. She reads these bios so brilliantly, personally, and flawlessly. And Brian, thank you for that display. Bella Verita, magic, forwards, backwards, over the top, underneath. Let's go, Bella.
I'm telling you what, I cannot believe that I've never taught myself to say the alphabet backwards. I feel like, everything else is backwards. I should be able to say the alphabet backwards also. Next up from Meridian, Idaho, physician, researcher, worldwide lecturer, an athlete that has suffered from concussions and visual issues, assistant professor developing teaching vision courses to professionals, consulting for pro and college teams on vision training and concussion protocols, bringing advanced neurological concepts and practical applications, making it accessible and engaging for pros and the general public. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Paul Brewer.
Dr. Paul, how shall we refer to you? Dr. Paul, Dr. Brewer, what say you, sir?
Paul's is fine.
Oh, all right, Paul. Thank you, sir. And your fun fact, please, Paul.
Well, I grew up in Hawaii. I'm from Hawaii, and believe it or not, I'm a really strong ocean person. But when I was about 5 or 6, I almost drowned in the water. And at that point, I was really scared, but I got over my fear and I became a really good surfer, scuba diver, spearfisher, and I love the ocean like to death now. But there was a point in my life where I was deathly afraid of it.
Wow.
That's awesome, Paul. And Paul, real quick, where's your favorite place to surf in Hawaii?
Goat Island, just because it's near my home.
Very, very cool. Favorite place to dive in Hawaii?
In Hawaii, probably Sharks Cove in the summertime. A lot of good tunnels to dive through.
Paul, welcome to the party. You are a friend of the ecosystem. These are ocean lovers in the space. Bella Rita, let's go.
It is ocean lovers. I like the sound of like shark tunnels. That sounds super fun. I'll have to go visit that sometime. Thank you, Paul. And next up from London, Ontario, a strength and conditioning coach, researcher, and psychologist helping athletes reach peak performance, even guiding them to the Olympics in 2005. A single mom. She has founded a pioneer training facility in 05 as a single mom, leading to offering business consulting and leadership coaching, running online coaching and transformational retreats, helping people achieve their best selves through growth mindset and holistic wellness. Let's welcome to the show, Kari Schneider.
Kari, welcome to Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence. Super impressive background. And shame on me, as I heard strength and conditioning coach. The first thing that pops into my head, I am blind, and I'm off video, obviously, anyway. But it was like a picture of a male. And then it was like this amazing woman, and that is awesome and extraordinary. Congratulations, and please, your fun fact.
Well, I'll start with a fun fact. Thank you, first of all. And it's interesting hearing that because all of that's out of date. Whether it's my fault or it doesn't matter. But I don't live in London, Ontario, and I'm not a strength and conditioning coach anymore. But one of the fun facts is, yes, I've helped bring over 30 people to the Olympics. But what I do now is, and have done for several years, is leadership consulting for mid to large size businesses and leadership coachings. So that's what my company does. But fun fact is really, that I helped bring a number of people to their Olympic dreams. And that's, it's an amazing journey. And I use that now to help leaders be the best in their companies and create congruent cultures in leadership teams.
We are present to the statistical impossibility or virtual impossibility of bringing that many humans to the mathematically improbable top of their field and to the Olympics. So congratulations on that. We are present to your mastery, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you. And I love oceans. Oh my gosh, I love oceans and all the ocean talk. Yes.
Ocean. What is your favorite place to go in the ocean? Like anywhere in the world. Tomorrow, where are you going?
Sayulita, Mexico. I learned to surf there. I am not a great swimmer. I love surfing, and I'm a mediocre to poor surfer, but I just cannot get enough of it.
That's awesome. Bella, we got ocean lovers, healers, growth-minded, heart-centered warriors. Of course they're here. This is Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence, Bella.
That is true. And next up from Brevard, North Carolina, a successful businessman and home builder expanding his ventures by starting a thriving roofing business about a decade ago. Passionate about helping people and encouraging them to do their best through the study of God's word. Hosts faith-based podcasts, a live Sunday morning radio show, and pastors online church via Zoom each week. Let's welcome to the show, Scott Mathis.
Scott, welcome to Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence. And please, Scott, your fun fact.
My fun fact would be that I lost my leg in a lawnmower accident when I was 7 years old and went on to break the world record for an amputee in the marathon many years later.
Oh.
Tears brought to my eyes, Scott. As a blind man, thank you for the inspiration. I'm super grateful to Dr. Matt for assembling so many extraordinary humans. And welcome to the Heart of Influence. And thank you for being an example of possibility in this world and being here today, Scott.
It's an honor to be here.
Honor to have you. Bella Verita, Heart Center Growth Minded. Masters are present, please.
Masters are present, and another master coming from Phoenix, Arizona, a practicing school psychologist and a certified life coach, believes in making the world stronger through guiding young people through crafting their purpose and identity, transforming the experience of return missionaries into generational impact time periods. Let's welcome to the show, Cortland Watson.
And Bella, Cortland with a C or Portland with a P?
Portland.
Yeah, Portland.
Portland, Oregon with a
here.
C.
Yeah.
Yes, got it. Got it. Thank you, Cortland. And please, fun fact.
Yeah, as a grew up in a difficult home. Am a survivor of suicide, and took that with me and carried it with me through school, and ended up becoming a published researcher in the field of suicidology, and specifically the postvention of those people who are impacted by suicide.
Awesome.
Cortland, thank you. Like, whoa, this is fun fact after fun fact. Heart-centered growth, impact, mastery, screaming from the rooftops. Bella Rita. Cortland, thank you for all you do for people, and very grateful that you're here. Bella, please.
Thank you, Cortland. And last but not least, the heart-centered, growth-minded impact leader that brought us all here today from Maricopa, Arizona, distinguished figure in holistic healthcare, renowned for expertise in human physiology and mind-body-spirit harmony, over 20 years of experience having treated over 85,000 patients, national board certified in chiropractic, acupuncture, and psychotherapies, trained by top experts in various disciplines, a strategic ally, and a confidant and a custodian of health and well-being to host those who shape our world. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Matt Arman.
Dr. Matt, love you, brother. Appreciate you. Defines heart-centered growth mind right here, right now. A master of the human body, and a never-ending student and growth-minded human. So, Dr. Matt, thank you for everything you do. And please, sir, your fun fact on your Heart of Influence today.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Bella. Fun fact is I, too, have nearly drowned in the Hawaiian Ocean. And I decided I wanted to marry my wife jumping off a Waimea Bay rock.
Whoa.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome. Dr. Matt, shall we do the things?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Let me introduce the woman that put the heart into the Heart of Influence. This woman started her career in influence selling crafts on her parents' front lawn as an 8-year-old. By the age of 19, she was a 7-figure business generator in the space of network marketing. At 24, 25, and 26, she was three-peating like Michael Jordan, but in business brokerage instead of basketball. At 24, she was the first woman to ever be Nevada's #1 business broker, and she was the youngest person, male or female, to do it 3 straight times, not only being the youngest person to do it. She then began to train entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 companies. In fact, in 2019, every sales team she worked with doubled their sales. Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer in the most extreme of conditions, philanthropist raising.
Lost him.
We
Amazing.
lost him.
Dollars for sharing.
He's been having, well, thank you for that introduction, Sean Callaghy. I think he was going to say philanthropist. We've raised millions of dollars through the Unblinded platform. So thank you all. It is a pleasure to be with you here today. And my fun fact is I actually scuba dove 14 times last week in Grand Cayman. And I still have sea legs where it still feels like every room I am in is kind of doing this sort of motion. So that is my fun fact for today. And while we're waiting for Sean to reconnect, I will go ahead and do his introduction. Maybe he'll be back by the time the introduction is done. Maybe not. He has been having the last couple days technical challenge after technical challenge. And if you saw his phone, you might understand why, but we'll save that story for a different day. And my co-host, Sean Callaghy, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He is only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. And in fact, he's so crazy that he actually started his first law firm 6 months out of law school, sold it 2 years later, and then started a second law firm that he still has today. He has surfed, skied, and scuba dived. In fact, he has beat world champion Becky at body surfing. He has spoken on stages for Fortune 10 companies, Fortune 500 companies, such as Salesforce, Disney, T-Mobile, Tony Robbins 18 times, just spoke with MasterCard this morning. And when he's not busy flying around, speaking on stages in front of thousands of people, he is an incredible philanthropist that raised nearly $10 million for charities in the last 2 years. So when he comes back, we'll welcome my co-host, Mr. Sean Callaghy. And I think I'm going to go with his fun fact that he would likely share, since there has been some ocean talk, is about 9 months ago, he was surfing in Long Beach Island because he is a blind surfer. And he was surfing along, bumped a shark, and that shark turned around and bit his surfboard. He still has the bite in the surfboard today. So that would be Sean Callaghy's fun fact, if he so chooses to come back. And so, Dr. Matt, on that note, shall we kick this off?
I would like more fun facts about Sean, but with in honor of
we can be here all day, me sharing fun facts about Sean. You know that, but that will not serve everybody here today. And so, on that note, how about?
Hello.
Sean,
my apologies. Yes, can you hear me?
I introduced you, and I shared a fun fact. The fun fact I shared for you that you were surfing in Long Beach Island, bumped a shark, and it turned around and bit your shark. So you've been introduced, and you've been fun fact.
I've been fun fact. And final thing I'll say is that Bella is a multiple-time published author and publicly, courageously, and inspirationally battled and defeated cancer in 2023. And she may have gone scuba diving with me and me with her 14 times last week in the Cayman Islands and Little Cayman. So Bella, let's rock and roll. Who's here? Who's going first?
Next, we're going to go, we'll kick this off with Christian Price.
Say one more time, Belle.
We'll go with Christian.
Christian, awesome. Bella's going to be to illustrate the concept of influence. Had a little fun, made some introductions, Christian, talked about some heart-centered, growth-minded principles. But what if everything in the world ever the word yes? Yes to decide to participate and move towards and work towards the Olympics. Yes in our leadership, our management, our marketing, our selling, our recruiting, fundraising, for profit or for charity, whatever it is, it all happens after yes. But not just any yes. What does it look like when yes is integrity-driven, integrity-based? In this crowded world of messaging, how do we get all that? We've got more than 1,200 episodes of this show for the influence with growth-minded people like yourself. And we're not a research and development laboratory of how do you cause yes, the science and technology of it. So to illustrate this, Christian, Bella's going to be anybody you want her to be, that you want to create a yes with. She could be an ideal client. She could be a charitable fundraising partner. She could be, heck, somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, whomever, that it would make sense for you to be going from hello to yes with. We're not pitching, hooking, closing. This is not Wolf of Wall Street meets Boiler Room, but instead it could just be a yes for a longer conversation. So Christian, please, who is Bella going to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be a perfect client, right? I mean, is that kind of a goal?
Yeah, sure. And what's a perfect client for you?
I like the idea of anything with perfect in front of it because I think I'm pretty perfect. So perfect client, perfect Bella. This should be pretty easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, my challenge is the focus here in the fact that I'm an economic development officer for the city, but I've been the mayor. I'm a financial advisor by trade, and I'm a jeweler. So I have a lot of things that I do. But let's focus on the financial advisory realm. And a perfect client would be somebody that I sit down with and we talk about their portfolio and we find a way to make it better.
Sounds like a plan to
That
me.
is super awesome. Bella's got some cash burning in them pockets and is like, what do I do with it all? Let's go, Bella.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is Christian Price. I'm with the Sierra Wealth Group. I just wanted to chat with you today on the portfolio that we discussed here in the past and wanted to see about the recommendations we had already made together.
Yes, I remember having that conversation and remember those recommendations, but Nordstrom had a shoe sale and I think our plan kind of went out the window and I'm not sure what I should do now.
Well, that's okay, Bella. eBay has a great program for selling those shoes that you have sitting in your backfield. But I know you would never want to do that.
What? No, my financial plan cannot include sell the shoes. What else do we got to do, Christian?
Let's talk about adding additional investments to your shoe collection and rounding out and further diversifying those things that you like to spend your money on. How does that sound?
So like makeup and handbags, do you mean?
Those certainly play a role, but what if we take it a step further into other investments that might actually play out even better in the long run?
Could I buy more shoes?
Of course.
Okay, so tell me what do we got to do?
So the idea would be is we would sit down together, we'd discuss your shoe buying habit, how much money you're spending, and then ultimately what you have left over.
I definitely do not want to discuss how much money I'm spending.
I
don't think that's a good thing I don't think that's a good thing to talk about. Do we have to talk about that?
Don't you like talking about shoes?
I do like talking about shoes, yes.
Well, then we'll talk about shoes. How about that?
Okay, perfect.
Wonderful. Well, with our shoe conversation, I'm sure we can address other things that you have sitting in the wings, like old 401ks and those types of things. And so there's still a way to implement this plan, and it's not a big deal. It's just a matter of getting together. When would you have time?
And no, kidding aside, Christian, I do know that, I probably, should be doing things differently and looking at things differently. And so, how long do you think it'll take to, get back on track and, any recommendations that you have?
Yeah, so it's actually a very simple process. And once we decide to implement the recommendations, it only takes a couple of days and you're off to the races.
Perfect. And Christian, one final question. Do you think a better strategy instead of me buying shoes is my significant other buying the shoes for me? Is that a better plan?
It could be. It just depends on what your significant other says.
Perfect.
Bella Verita, what is happening here? What is happening here?
I gotta get my finances in order, Sean. So my financial advisor said no more shoe buying for me. So I think he recommends that you buy the shoes for me.
I think that's a wonderful plan. Sounds
I think it's a
perfect.
wonderful plan
Thank
too.
you, Bella.
Christian, we've made
I think
money already.
Piece of cake.
I think I'd like to talk to Christian myself, but thank you, Christian. Thank you, Bella. And Bella, where are we going?
Let's go, Andrew.
Hi.
Andrew, please do not have me end up buying the shoes. But brother, what would you like to go from hello to yes with Bella about?
I would love
Who do you
to
want, who do you
help.
want Bella to be?
I would love to help Bella overcome chronic pain and stress in her life so that she can continue scuba diving 14 times a week for as long as humanly possible.
Let's go. Bella Verita, Andrew is helping overcome some chronic pain and keeping you happy and stress-free. Let's go.
Perfect. Can you help reduce the PETA pain for my significant other?
PETA pain? What
PETA
exactly
pain.
is
It's
PETA
like the pain in the ass. No, I'm just joking. If he's gonna help me with my shoe collection, we definitely got a deal. But Andrew, I was actually referred to you by my dear friend Dr. Matt, and I've been having some chronic hip pain, and I'm not quite sure what to do.
Where exactly do you feel your hip pain? On the left side, on the right side?
On the left side, like kind of right in my hip joint.
And did something happen or did this come about over time?
So last year, I had cancer and I had to get a hysterectomy. So then I went into menopause and during that journey, I went through like this checking my whole body thing. And they told me I was losing bone in my hip. And then I went into menopause. So I don't know if there is actually anything wrong or if it's just all in my head because they told me something was going on, because it didn't start to hurt until they told me that was going on. So there's part of me that feels like, is there really something going on, or did it start just because they told me there was something going on?
Well, that's a great question. It could definitely happen either way. Is there anything in your life that this affects currently or with the pain that you're feeling?
It does affect my workouts because I do like to work out, and I'm into fitness regularly. And, sometimes when I'm doing weights or riding the bike or things like that, I do, feel like there's a little bit of pain there.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with me your journey of how everything has been going on in your life. What have you tried so far to help with the pain?
I'm basically just doing regular chiropractic care is kind of the only thing that I'm doing.
And how's that going for you?
I mean, I guess it's all right. It hasn't gone away. They also tell me my leg is slightly shorter. Left leg is slightly shorter. So I do have this fear that someday I might have to get a hip replacement, but that's kind of.
Yeah, hip replacement would definitely be something difficult to go through.
Yeah, that would really interrupt my skiing season.
Your skiing and scuba diving.
Yes.
How much does this pain bother you on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think on a regular basis, really only like 2 or 3. And I got about 20 seconds before I'm have to run, Andrew. So what are you thinking based on what I've told you so far?
Well, I'd love to have a conversation with you and discuss more about how we can help you overcome this hip pain and to live the best life that you can seek to live.
And do you think I can get rid of the hip pain without needing hip surgery?
Definitely. Or at least give you the best possible chance.
Perfect. And what about the pain in the butt that I have sometimes? Anything you can do with that?
Yeah. Well, is this the pain in the butt from other people or from your hip?
It's kind of from other people sometimes. They can be kind of pains in the butt sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrew. We got to wrap this up because I think he's going to walk into the room any moment, so I got to run.
Yeah.
All right.
Andrew, that butt pain that comes from sitting too long in helicopters, taking you from Grand Cayman to Little Cayman, scuba diving 14 times, staying in the presidential suite at the Westin. These are very difficult and trying, stressful situations, Andrew. So do you think you can help Bella Verita alleviate those problems.
Yes, yes, I can.
Andrew is not feeling sorry for me anymore.
Bella, Verita, no, awesome job. Christian, Andrew, great job. Having some beautiful fun today. Bella, oh, and by the way, a fun fact that I would have shared had I been not kicked off the program for a moment is I have a deep resonance with Arizona. We have an office in Phoenix, and we had up until recently the top jury verdict in all cases happened to be a business case in Arizona in the past 7 years. So we had a $0 offer case going into trial, and with our second top 100 national jury verdict in Phoenix, Arizona in 2016, a $27 million verdict in a business case, and Arizona has a deep resonance in my heart. And second part of the magic of Arizona is we beat the #1 ranked club baseball team in America. For my son's team when he was 14, we beat them in Phoenix in a tournament with teams from all over the West. So a lot of beautiful blessings have occurred in the state of Arizona and continue to, with the work that we do there. So, brought up that's a quick fun fact. And Bella, Verita, let's get to the feedbackers.
Let's do that. Let's get to the feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Christian or Andrew, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then a little next step scoring system. So is the next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Christian or Andrew? I don't think either one of them were that bad. So maybe the next step is like just a simple cup of coffee at Starbucks, little coffee, little croissante for a little bit longer of a conversation. But if that's not enough time, then you would be willing to rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, getting the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak. Unless you're vegan, of course, maybe you're having like salad and French fries, but you're not going to skip dessert because you want to have the longest meeting possible to get to know them. But if that's still not enough time, you would be willing to rent a private jet. Of course, up and pick up Dr. Matt because he did invite you here, and fly anywhere in the world with Christian or Andrew to have the longest meeting possible. So let's kick this off with Dr. Paul. And Dr. Paul, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Christian?
Perfect. I like how he segued in from talking about shoes to a 401k. So he just didn't dismiss your shoe fetish, but
that was good, right?
He used it to talk about finances, and it's hard to really talk about all that stuff in obviously 3 minutes. So if you had more time, you probably would have talked more about the shoes, maybe ask her more questions about her shoe to kind of get more comfortable about that. But overall, it was great. I loved it. I would have probably wanted to hear more from you.
Awesome. And what will be the next step, Dr. Paul? Cup of coffee, seafood tower, steak at the Capitol Grill private room, perhaps, or maybe even a private jet flying, who knows, to the oceans of Hawaii or wherever. So what's the next step, Dr. Paul?
I'll get a jet for sure and fly to Fiji, and we can surf the cloud break there.
Let's go. Going to Fiji, Bella. Dr. Paul, we got this. Let's go.
Dr. Paul is taking us to Fiji. Next up, let's go Corey. Corey, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Andrew?
So for Andrew, not Christian?
For Andrew, yes.
Andrew, okay. Andrew, I think you did a wonderful job in starting to take a little bit of a history with Bella. You started to ask what happened, what does this affect, what helps it, what's not helping it. So that little bit of history starts to understand what's going on for her. There got to a point where she was really authentic with you, warming up with you. However, then you asked for a conversation. I think that was the time to ask for a consult. I will assess you. We will find out more. Not another conversation. You already touched so much in that history. She needed a consult at that point.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Corey, and it's pronounced Corey, correctly?
Yeah, just like a Ferrari, baby.
Awesome. Corey, super cool. So Corey, what would the next step be? Would it be like cruising in a Ferrari? private jet, maybe Capitol Grill, maybe just grab a cup of coffee.
I'm a little trepidatious about the confidence of not taking that that assessment. So I'd feel things out further with a cup of coffee.
Let's go. Mocha Choco lattes coming up for Corey, like Ferrari, Bella. Let's go.
Let's go. Next up, we have Brian. Brian, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Christian?
Well, first of all, both of you guys, I think, did a great job, especially being on the spot. Christian, I really like how, I think someone mentioned it earlier, you used what she was talking about to kind of segue that into how you can help her. But I thought you did a remarkable job in bringing your value to the table and how you want to sit down with her, discover her needs, and then talk about a plan moving forward. So you're very specific in that sense. And I think that gives people the confidence to set the next appointment.
Awesome. And Brian, what would we be doing next, sir? Coffee, jets, dinners, what's happening?
We are going to dinner and Dr. Matt is paying for it.
Let's go. Let's go, Brian. Dr. Matt's paying for it. I'm hearing maybe Le Grand Pizza, one of my favorite spots. How does that sound?
Hey, that sounds amazing to me. I'm in.
Let's go. Come on, Bella.
All right, next up, we got Scott Mathis. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Andrew?
I agree with Kari that the intro was very good. And I'm looking at the degrees in the background there. And I was really hoping to hear more, Andrew, about how you were going to help her.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to hear more about, this is what I can do for you. This is how I can be a blessing to your life going forward by, I think we could implement potentially this, or this. And I would have, the knowledge is obviously there. I would have just liked to have heard more about it.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. And what's next, Scott?
Let's go have dinner at the grill and have a steak and a salad. And I want to hear about how my journey can be better with how I take care of myself.
There we go. We're going to the grill, Bella Rita. Going to the grill. Let's go.
Going to the grill. And next up, we've got Cortland. And Cortland, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Andrew?
Andrew, I think you did a great job again, like what was mentioned. And I agree with what was said. You did a good job with your opening. You did a good job of kind of what the expectations were and kind of having that conversation, keeping it, meaningful and but also connecting. The thing that I would have liked to see, just in conjunction with it, kind of offering services, taking that next step, how can I help you, is being able to understand where she wants to go. Right. Mm-hmm. So not only, understanding where she's at right now, getting a picture of where she wants to be, then you'd be able to bring in, like Scott said, hey, this is what I'm going to do for you, how I can do it, and then lead right into that consultation, like Kari was saying. But overall, I think you did well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And Cortland? Yeah, cool. Cortland, what's the next step?
Yeah, if I was in Bella's shoes, I think next step would be just kind of sitting down, something very informal, not quite ready yet for me to kind of make that decision, because I didn't hear a lot about, how you're going to help me. So I'd give some of that time, but not necessarily those that big step, maybe some meeting up over a phone call or something like that.
All right. Got Cortland, little phone call, Bella Rita. Come on.
Next up, we got Dr. Matt. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Christian?
Fantastic. Feedback for Christian is, your personality shines through, brother. Like, your ability to have that conversation in a comfortable way is fantastic. Perhaps an optimization is just more questions. Bella took the conversation and she was definitely in control. of that conversation, and you had the primacy with your position and your leverage as being an expert in finances. And perhaps a disruptive question could be, Bella, what's your most expensive pair of shoes? How much have you paid? And like she can think and perhaps maybe be proud or ashamed, but you've disrupted the pattern and then you introduce what you're doing.
Absolutely. Great feedback. Thank
Nice,
you.
Dr. Matt. And the next step, brother, are we like rolling to the Phoenician for dinner? Like what's happening next?
Yeah, we're rolling to Phoenicians for sure. We're going all out. Dinner time.
Let's go. And then maybe we do like a midnight hike of Camelback Mountain. Dr. Matt.
Love
Now,
that.
Dr. Matt, yeah, let's go do that. Let's go. By the way, I almost made a huge mistake in one of my 100 trips out to Phoenix in taking a group of 14-year-olds on that same baseball tournament I told you about, hiking up the top of Camelback Mountain, all with one bottle of water in like 108 degrees. Not one of my better decisions. But Dr. Matt.
Everyone on the show
story
is
for a different
shaking their
day.
head, Sean. Everyone.
Yes. Yes. And we survived, but I was very, very blessed and fortunate. So, Dr. Matt, you know what time it is. Bella's going to put me on that hot seat. She's going to try and knock me around like she does. Just take it easy on me, though, Dr. Matt. You know, little fatigued coming off of Cayman and the immersion with the, 100 entrepreneurs and professionals that we were running. But, Bella, over to you.
Yes. He's going to try to cry this one out, Sean, our Dr. Matt. Hopefully he doesn't have any technical issues during this time. But Dr. Matt and everyone, this is the time in the show that I have the honor and the privilege of putting my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about because I've been cooking them up as the show has been going on. Ultimately, Dr. Matt, you get to choose what scenario Sean goes from hello to yes on. You can change anything about my scenarios. You can scrap them, come up with something much, much harder on your own. But we're going to see if he can flex his influence muscles or not. Dr. Matt, are you ready to hear what I have for today?
You bet. Let's go.
Okay. So number one, the option number one is Sean would role play Christian. Going from hello to yes, I did a little research, and there's a gentleman that started U-Haul, Mark Schuin, that lives there in Mesa, Arizona. And Mark has a financial advisor, but his son is looking for someone, and he is interviewing people for his son to work with because he doesn't want his son working with the same financial advisor. So option number one is Sean would role play Christian, going from hello to yes with Mark to have his son work with him as his financial advisor. So that is option number one. Option number two, Dr. Matt, is I actually read yesterday on the good and handy chat GTP that there's actually a device that someone's trying to get patent that is a butt-kicking device. Now, I thought Sean could role play Andrew. Andrew is the inventor of this butt-kicking device, and he is going to go from hello to yes with Ernest Garcia II, who is the founder of Drive Time Automotive and Carvana, also there in Mesa, Arizona, to invest $1 million in, or donating, not investing, but donating $1 million to make this butt-kicking device such that all proceeds of sales from this device could go to the Better Health Foundation that has a mission there in Arizona to make healthcare easier and life better for people. So that is option number two, Dr. Matt. And then option number three is Kari, like Ferrari, has an incredible story. I think she'd be great on Oprah's Soul Series. So option number three is Sean would role play Kari, going for the producers of Oprah's Soul Series to go from hello to yes with them to have Kari on the Oprah Soul Series. So those are the three options I have for you today, Dr. Matt. Any of those tickle your fancy, or would you like to come up with something much harder?
Oh man, these are great. As much as I love kicking butt, I would like to hear option number three, because Kari does deserve to have stages and microphones that are international.
Beautiful. Love it, Dr. Matt. And Dr. Matt, who would you like to play the producer of Oprah's Soul Series?
Let's see. Dr. Paul Brewer, please.
Dr. Paul Brewer, are you up for playing Oprah Soul Series producer? Sean's going to role play Kari, going from hello to yes with you to have her have a show on the Oprah Soul Series. Are you up for this? You'll want to unmute to have that answer.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right, and Kari, you've taken 30 people to the Olympics. Is that correct?
40.
Yeah, I've supported many different athletes to get to the Olympics, and some have actually medaled there as well. And that's been the platform for what I currently do, which is supporting high-level business leaders with their cultures and their leadership development.
Awesome. Okay, so hi, is Paul available?
This is him. How are you doing?
Hey, Paul, this is Kari. We had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Is it still a good time for you?
Perfect.
Yeah, listen, Paul, I am incredibly appreciative. I understand the honor and privilege of having this conversation with you about Oprah's Soul Series. And Oprah is not only an icon, but a statistically insane anomaly. I know you know who she is, and she knows who she is. I just want you to know that I know who she and you are. And I'm massively grateful. I will keep it to the 3 minutes. I know we got 2 minutes and 40 seconds of counting. But if I may ask this, Paul, what prompted you to accept this conversation? Everybody wants to be on Oprah's Soul Series. Why me? Why this conversation? Again, much gratitude.
Honestly, as much as I love helping people and being in the stage, I think it's a little intimidating being on that show. So I'm a
Got
little
it.
scared.
And
I'm a little
so,
scared to like be in that light, I'm really good at working one-on-one with people and doing that kind of thing. But being in front of a crowd of people, I think I might buckle.
yep. So just quickly out of role. So Paul, you're the executive producer of the Soul Series. I'm playing Kari, having a conversation with you to get onto the show.
Oh, I misheard the whole
That's
thing.
cool.
Repeat that one more time. Repeat the third option again.
Yep. So Bella, tell me if I'm correct. Paul is the executive producer of Oprah's Soul Series.
Yes,
I'm
you are
playing
correct.
Kari, who, okay, in a
Oh,
conversation
you're Kari.
with you,
Sorry, I
Paul.
thought I was the opposite. Okay, I
So,
misheard that.
I'm going to call an audible here.
Yeah.
Paul,
Yeah.
Paul, you're out. Brian Adams, you're the producer.
All right.
Please,
So
Brian,
let's
Okay.
hit it. Yeah,
this will be fun.
So Brian, let's just restart. Yeah, restart for fun. So Brian, hi, is Brian available?
I am here, but waiting for your call.
Yeah. Hey, Brian. Thanks. This is Kari. I think you've got that. And I know we have a 3-minute conversation. I know the clock is ticking and how critically important your time is. I know that you know you are. I am just absolutely present to the impact, the power of Oprah, this Soul Series, and what you're up to in it. My simple question is, because I don't want to pitch you anything, I want to speak into your listening, your needs. What is it that prompted you to have any degree of space for me to have this phone call today? Again, much gratitude. But if I may ask, with all the humans, why did you accept this conversation? Please, Brian, with me.
Yeah, you bet. No, and I appreciate you reaching out to us today. I decided to accept this phone call because we are always looking for a story or someone that can come on and share their experience with the viewers, with our audience. We believe, as a general rule of thumb, that everybody is capable of greatness, and most people just don't know how to tap into that. Obviously, Kari has the resume to show that she can help people achieve that greatness that we are hoping to inspire other people with. So that is one of the main reasons we want her on the show, is to help people understand how they can become better, and that yes, they are capable of being more than they currently are.
Well, thank you so much for that, Brian. And as Kari, I am very grateful for that statement. And if I may ask you one more quick question, I will, again, keep this on time. Am I correct that the ultimate why, the purpose behind Oprah's Soul Series is not only to inspire, but to actualize human potential? Like, am I tracking that, or is there any other why
Yeah.
that I'm missing for you and the Soul series?
Yeah, that is the ultimate why. A lot of people get caught up in the excitement of a new idea. You have demonstrated that you can show people how to take that excitement and bring it to fruition with the dozens of people that you've helped achieve that very, very small percentage of people that actually get to become an Olympian. And then on top of that, people who actually medal.
Oh.
So to answer your question, yes, we want to see people not just get excited about making a change, but teach them how to take those steps in order to make that change.
Well, holy alignment, Batman Brian, thank you so much. In the final minute or so we have, can I share a couple of other distinctions that may even deepen this alignment, please?
You want me to share a couple other distinctions, or you want to share them?
But I'm saying, may I share a couple?
Oh yeah,
may
please
I
go ahead.
share a couple of other distinctions? Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So this is like as synergistic a conversation as we could possibly be having, because that's exactly what it is, as you're well aware, Brian. That Simon Sinek says start with why, and of course we start with why, but excitement, if you're running east looking for a sunset, doesn't get you to the destination. I've had the privilege of co-creating, working with at varying levels, 30 people making it to the Olympics, including a number who've medaled, and it went so far beyond the why into the technical how-to. The study of my life, the reason I had the privilege of actualizing and co-creating with these humans and so many other people now in the corporate and business space, is because there is a how-to. Leadership is a human technology that's more valuable and more important than the Google or Facebook algorithms combined. It's what causes everything. This is what the space is all about. And I know we're at time, Brian. So listen, if we're here, I'm ready and thrilled. If we're not all the way there yet, what I would propose is a 30-minute conversation, unpack what I perceive to be in full alignment with Oprah's Soul series to actualize human potential, not just inspire, but to not also inspire. And I am clear that we'll have the potential for the most powerful programming in Oprah's Soul series, besides what Oprah brings herself. A how-to is what I would love to be associated with, because so many people love to inspire. They tell their story. It ends there. But that's just the beginning. And if that resonates, Brian, my proposal would be to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation so we can unpack how I believe that could come to life in a fun, heart-centered, impactful, empowering, entertaining way that gives people the how-to. So how would that resonate with you or not? Have that follow-up meeting, please, Brian.
Well, my desire is the same as yours. I would love to have that 30-minute meeting. I believe we're on the same page, but I would love to dive a little bit deeper into the details, just to make sure that we can make this as remarkable as the both of us believe it will be.
Brian, I appreciate that. And shall I set that up with your assistant, Joe, as we did this meeting?
Perfect. Yeah, let's do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Brian, at
Yes,
a roll.
you bet.
Brian, how'd I do it? How'd I do with Kari, Brian? How'd I do with Kari? Having that conversation with you as the executive producer of Oprah's Soul series.
You came into the conversation very confident about what you had to offer. And I got the feeling that you weren't looking for necessarily permission, if you will, but you were more or less trying to get me to understand what I am going to miss out on if I do not say yes to you. So I thought you did fantastic.
Yes, and that would
if that answers your question.
Well, thank you, brother. And Brian, couldn't agree more, because in addition to unconditionally loving people with boundaries, we talk about the principle of integrous scarcity, not fake scarcity, integrous. And that came across clearly. And thank you for that. Thank you for jumping in the role as the executive producer, for being here today, Brian, giving feedback on Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence. And overall, Brian, how was your time today on Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence?
You know what? It's been fantastic, actually. I look forward to the next one, assuming I get another invite. It's been great to hear everybody's backgrounds and stories, and I'd say the time has been well spent.
Thank you, Brian. Wonderful job. Kari, thank you for being here. Bring your impact and mastery, heart-centeredness forward. And how'd I do with you having that conversation? And how was your time overall on Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence?
Well, I felt like you had him at hello. It was a synergistic conversation. I was like, oh, everything's that easy. That's fantastic. I love any group that Matt brings together. I think is going to be full of heart and full of integrity and full of service for other people. So I'm just honored to have been invited, and thank you, Bella and Sean, for being an example and showing us this way of really communicating with others in a way that's beneficial for all.
No, thank you. And not confused, Kari, about your mastery to have done and to be doing currently and into the future what you do. It's an honor to have you here. And thank you so much for joining the more than 8,000 people that have been the Heart of Influence. So thank you, Kari. Let's go, Christian. Thanks for being in that participant seat. Not an easy place to be. Really, really masterful job. And how was your time today, Christian, on Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence?
It was great. Thank you again for the invite, Matt and Bella and Sean, for allowing me to be here. Yeah, I love meeting new people. I certainly love learning about different people's professions and paths and how they operate. So it's been fun to hear the role plays and why and how things operate. Appreciate the feedback and how to do things better. And like you said, it can be tricky at on the spot sometimes, not knowing exactly what you're walking into, but I certainly learn a lot from those, and I certainly like the feedback on questioning, and I got to see you do it just a moment ago here, Sean, and that was great.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Christian. Appreciate you. Let's go, Scott. Thanks for being on Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence. Thanks for the feedback that you gave in the participant seat. And Scott, how was your time today on Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence?
It was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Iron always sharpens iron, and the opportunity to be on with a whole lot of really sharp people who are making things happen, is always great for me to learn, to be a sponge and try to take in as much as I possibly can that from some extremely sharp people who can help me grow and become a better me in the process.
Well, thank you so much for that, Scott. And your feedback was insightful. It was courageous, was on the mark, and great job today, Scott. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Bella Verita, the torrential downpour that began only a moment before this episode of the Heart of Influence and is now ending as we're drawing to a close is remarkable. The magic of the weather. So Bella, over to you with our other fine friends.
That is very magical for sure. I love when that turns out that way. Let's go, Andrew, also sitting in the participant seat, which is not easy, did a fantastic job. I know you're in the car now, but how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This was a really great experience. Again, to be in a group of such high-level players who can give such concise feedback and tell me exactly where I need to go and show me where I'm at. I loved having this time constraint of the 3 minutes. Usually I spend more time with people, and I've learned from this experience that I got to be more concise, have that transition ready so that I can truly help people with a heart of influence.
Ooh, I love it.
Awesome.
Ooh, yeah, that's awesome. And those transitions are so vital, Andrew, and did a great job. But the tightness of those transitions are vital because people, as Malcolm Gladwell talks about in Blink, are making split-second assessments continuously about investing another moment of attention, no matter what. So great job. Bella.
Let's go. How about we go over to Dr. Paul? Thank goodness you didn't drown. You got to be here with us today. And how was your experience on the Heart of Influence?
Super awesome. I was actually on the show just not too long ago, and you think after being on the show once, you had everything down, and apparently I proved that was not so. But I learned a lot, and like it's great. My biggest weakness is talking in a short amount of time. I'm like a people person in long-term relationships. So the one thing I'm learning from the show is that how to like fine tune my speech and my talk within a 3-minute time constraint.
Yeah. So, and Dr. Paul, and I know we're at time, but I can't give you this. I ended up on Tony Robbins' stage 19 times and built a beautiful long-term relationship. But sometimes we have 60 seconds, 120 seconds, 180 seconds to do what we call open the listening of somebody. And it's definitely not done with the elevator pitch. There's a science to open the listening of people, a science to continuing the opening of people's listening, a science to reopening closed listening. And those micro distinct moments is where it's all at. And sometimes we have the privilege of having all the time in the world, but in 2024, that is remarkably seldom that we have that. People are making countless repetitive decisions about whether or not it makes sense to continue investing time in communicating and time in developing a relationship. And we want to be congruently unique so people become curious as a possibility of seeing their future in some positive way in us. And you've definitely got that in your heart and being. But for all of us, please do not look at this as some 3-minute like sales pitch thing. It is the antithesis of that. When you powerfully disrupt and open the listening of remarkable humans, which I've had the privilege of doing all over this country and some other countries around the world, that science, 27 years of my studying it, is the science that it creates a distinction between a Martin Luther King and someone who has a lot of good things to say and ends up talking about them on a street corner to 3 people. And they could have remarkably the same message. How we open the listen and cause acceleration forward is in the micro details that we're talking about right here. And great job, Dr. Paul.
And let's go, last but not least, before we get to our co-producer of the show, Cortland, how was your time with us on Dr. Matt's Heart of Influence?
Yeah, again, just to reiterate, I think that this was a wonderful opportunity. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to be here, grateful that I could contribute and, be able to provide some feedback. Grateful for the bravery of Christian and also for Andrew for taking in and kind of stepping in and, doing some role plays. I appreciate that. And one thing that I really appreciate is, the value of time. So I really appreciated that. I also really liked during Sean's role play, just the gratitude and appreciation that he showed as he was kind of jumping into the conversation. Just being able to acknowledge, hey, I'm well aware of who you are, and I'm grateful that you've given me the opportunity to be here. I thought that was a great way of opening and having that conversation. So,
Absolutely.
a lot of gratitude. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Cortland. And no doubt about it. How to win friends and influence people. A great, beautiful beginning work by the wonderful Dale Carnegie. Talks about a lot of tips where we can ingratiate ourselves to people. And I believe there's a huge distinction between attempting to ingratiate ourselves versus authentically acknowledging truth. And if we're talking to somebody like an executive producer of Over Soul series, ignoring the reality of how blessed we are to have that sacred time would be a missed opportunity to demonstrate the power of what Oprah said in the first place, which is the reason she held the microphone for 30,000 people. Whether you like Oprah or not the point. The point is that she did all the things she did because she said, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters to me, her words. Dr. Matt, that brings us to you. And brother, this man has had a huge impact on my health, the health of so many, the emotions, the spirit of human beings. I am not confused that everybody knows who this man is at varying levels, but his heart and soul screams nonstop and continuously, and his commitment to integrity and mastery. So Dr. Matt, it is always an honor and privilege to share space with you, brother, and please your final on your Heart of Influence today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sean. I am edified by you all. I'm inspired by every single one of you. And what a privilege it is for me to bring you all to meet the wizard. And Bella, the word is wizardess.
We're wizardess.
But ultimately,
Yeah.
like what happened today was magic. What Sean showed, these micro distinctions, this is where the magic is at. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, what's possible. Thank you again, Sean.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Matt. Our fun way of saying it is, this is the saltine cracker, one saltine cracker of an 8-course meal. So thank you everybody for being here today. Definitely connect with Dr. Matt and each other. There's massive value in the possibilities of every one of you interconnecting. Dr. Matt will handle those interconnections. We also have some gifts for you, and gratitude to Dr. Matt and you for being here. First, from 1 week from today, on Wednesday, we'll have on July 31st, excuse me, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Might be a little bit early for some of you fine folks, but we'll be assembling and training on everything we're talking about here. How do you open the listening of humans? And you also have the ability to drop in and meet some other people. You can listen to that replay as well. Number one. Number two, we'll have our, as a gift for you, our textbook on group influence, public speaking, leadership management, a handbook, the textbook of what all that looks like. It's our gift to you. It's not just a couple of tips, but a textbook, a guide for you. And third, a business acceleration session, the ability to get together and look at your mission, vision, and purpose and see where you have leakage. We all have leakage. I have leakage. Oprah Winfrey has leakage. Warren Buffett has leakage. We'll never close all the leakage. But what's the right priority order of leakage closing to create massive acceleration? Everybody claims it. It's really here. And P.S., on none of those will anything be sold to you. We have a lot of things to do with folks for a long time, but we believe integrity-based human influence is based in value, value, value before we get into any other conversations. So thank you, Dr. Matt. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Bella, I know we've had extraordinary people. We're a little bit over. Your quick, amazing final. And Bella, remarkable job, as always, in the role plays, the introductions, bring your heart and your mastery. Please, Bella, your final.
Yes. First, just want to say, Dr. Matt, phenomenal job at bringing people together, and he puts energy, puts effort. So if you've not connected with Dr. Matt, you definitely want to have that conversation because he has you here because there's stuff to do together. And he's the perfect person to unpack the opportunities that not only you have with him, but have with each other. So definitely have that conversation. And then you may have an opportunity to have a conversation with one of our teammates if that supports as well. Sean may talk about that. But thank you all for being here. And Dr. Matt, back, phenomenal job. And Sean, back to you.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We end every show by saying this. First, thank you, Dr. Matt. Thank you, everybody. And second, I may be physically blind, which I am, but I'm absolutely certain as to the possibilities for acceleration that sit in front of every single one of us for our missions, vision, and purposes. They so often sit right in front of us. But at some level, with those opportunities right in front of us, Bella, we're all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Great job.
Bye, guys.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure.